Hi, Wendy, Ruth, and Elika. It's me, Katie Rote from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today we'll be working on the Effortless crop, and this is the fourth time I've cut this haircut, so hopefully the fourth time is a charm. I prep my mannequin with the Clean Volume shampoo and conditioner. This contains sunflower seed oil and mustard seed extract. These two ingredients replace silicones and will give a nice slip to the hair. It will help reduce frizz, add shine, and it will also help smooth the cuticle down. It also contains aloe water, which will help retain moisture, and soy protein that will add luster and fortifies the hair. From there, I went and I put on the Color Fanatic 21 Benefits. This is a heat protectant. I use it as a detangler. It's a great cutting lotion, and it's a great leave-in conditioner on top of that. It has 21 benefits to it, and you can read and look at all of those benefits on the back of this bottle. I pre-sectioned my mannequin, and so the first section I started with was the oval section in the middle, or on the top of the head. So I started that section by going 2 inches behind the hairline in the front, and I moved that around the top of the head down to a 1/2 inch above the occipital bone, and then I continued to bring that all the way back up to the top of the section. From there, I went to section number 2, which is in the fringe area, and I took diagonal back sectioning on either side, starting at the natural recession point of the hairline, or you can go from the outside of the eyebrow on either side. So that's section number 2. Section number 3, I took a vertical section behind the ear, and section number 4 is also another vertical section behind the ear. Section number 5 is going to be the nape section and the occipital area, and I pin that out of the way as well. So to start this haircut, we're going to start in the fringe area. I'm going to unravel this. She's a little dry, so I'm going to dampen this section down. Comb that out to make it easier, get all the tangles out. And so how we're going to start this section is we're going to take a 1-inch subsection down the middle of your fringe section. I'm going to brush the sections away from this section so they're out of my way. Okay, so once I have my 1-inch section, it's a little big, there we go. How I'm going to start this is we're going to find a 90 degrees from where the hair naturally naturally falls. So we're going to find 90 degrees, and we're going to want to cut at 2 inches from the scalp. So a lot of your cutting combs have 6 inches written on the comb. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my comb because inches are different to everybody. I'm going to find 2 inches on my comb, which is right here, and I'm going to put that on the head, and I'm going to use that as my measurement. So there's 2 inches. From there, I'm going to comb this section out to 90 degrees. We are at 2 inches, and I'm going to cut. We'll let that go. So moving on to the next section, we're going to take another 1-inch section. Comb this out, and we're going to over direct this section towards section number 1. So section number 2 will be over directed towards section number 1. We're going to come out at 90 degrees from where the hair naturally falls. I'm going to make sure that I'm at 2 inches here. I'm actually a little longer than 2 inches. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to recut section number 1 really quick. All right, so 90 degrees, recut this, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to come and find section number 2. Over direct find your guide from section number 1, and we'll cut. So for section number 3, we're actually going to come back to the other side of section number 1. We're going to take this section and take a little bit of section number 1, and we're going to over direct section number 3 into section number 1. Pull out at 90 degrees from where the hair naturally lays. Cut up to the second knuckle, not through, and let that fall. So now we're going to move on to section number 4, which is going to be right next to section number 2. And with this section, we are again going to over direct this section to the previous section, which would be section number 2. Still taking 1-inch sections. Over direct out to 90 degrees to where the hair naturally falls and cut. So the reason why we are going to each side, so we're cut one side and move to the next side, is to keep balance in the haircut. A lot of times when we're cutting, we can tend to cut one side shorter than the other, and